So this mother and this daughter were sitting in front of a, should I say, host? Maybe it's a podcast or TV show, I don't know. But basically, the daughter was complaining to the host that she tells her mother that her mother does not listen to her. Her mother hears but does not listen.
Yeah.
And then the host is asking the mother, okay, so what do you have to say to this? She's like, yeah, let me hear what let the daughter give an example. And then the daughter mentioned that she approached her mom, I don't know how many years ago, but she told her mom that she was molested, so sexually harassed, or in other words, sexually abused. And the reaction her mother gave was shocking to her. She was expecting her mom to come hug her, talk to her, tell her everything will be fine, they could get help, blah, blah, blah. But instead, her mom
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another exciting episode. It is Let's Toast to Life podcast.
Yes, welcome back, guys.
Very random. Do you remember any nursery rhyme or nursery song or something that you sang when you were a kid that really got you energetic? Nowadays, children love baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark. Do you have anyone that used to give you energy?
The one that comes to mind is Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. All London Bridge is falling down. Falling down, falling down.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, definitely not Mary at the Little Lamb. There's nothing energetic about Mary at the Little Lamb, my dear lady.
No. Wait, my fair lady, is it part
Oh.
of Mary at the Little Lamb or London Bridge is falling down?
I'm sorry.
See?
Okay.
You see, let me sing the one that I know.
So London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my dear lady.
I think it's my fair lady.
It's okay, it's my fair lady. God, I used to chew my mouth and any of those songs.
They're not even nursery rhymes, but also even songs
the one
that
I
we
loved,
sing now.
Sandalili, 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 hey, Sandalili, 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 Sandalili. Continue now.
I don't know.
You don't know that one?
Is that a nursery rhyme, or is all those chants that
it's not chant
just come from somewhere?
It's not chant.
So which nursery rhyme?
Standard living, standard living.
Okay.
That's I knew this when I was already having baby. It's actually not Sandalili. But anyways.
That's by the way. So what are we doing today?
Well, we want to talk about something that we discussed privately and we thought to bring it to our podcast, of course, because we have amazing people who listen to us and share their thoughts. There's this rave in our generation about self-love. Love
do
yourself.
Do you love you?
Do you?
Do you, baby?
It's about how you feel. As long as you are good with it, then let it be.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. Do whatever makes you happy. And I genuinely feel that has led to a lot of selfish, self-centered, self-absorbed human beings that only think about themselves. And it's a very sad reality. And I want us to talk about it. The reality of selfish, self-centeredness in our generation, and how can we trace that to the whole movement of self-esteem, self-love, and then just talk about this, and hopefully we can learn some things and we can be better at the end of this episode.
Interestingly, I'm just thinking about how I have changed over the years.
Yeah.
There was a time that I would call, I would call people, I would call aunties, uncles. I had it on my radar to call people, check up on them, just be there, celebrate everybody. But now it seems to me like I've changed. It seems to me like I'm no longer that person who I used to be before. Now I don't even, it could be your birthday and maybe I see it on my status. I'm like, okay, happy birthday to you. But then I don't do more than that. So I'm trying to understand if I've become more self-centered or it's just the reality that life is now busier and nobody could send me. So if I do it or I don't do it, or let me put it this way, I've been the one doing it all these years and then I decide I'm not doing it again.
Yeah.
So What is that?
Uh, to be honest, life is in seasons, right? And maybe while you were younger, you had the time, you had the energy, maybe you even had incentives that time. Who knows? Like if you call this uncle and auntie and
No, there was no incentive.
are you
Mm-mm.
sure?
Yeah,
So what's
yeah.
so the question is what motivated you at that time
I was just trying to be a good daughter, a good niece, a good cousin, a good, like, just trying to be good. Just trying to care for people and go out of my will to make people know that I am aware of their situation, like using birthdays as the context here, like, I will post you on my status and whatnot, call you, sing for you. I still do that, but not for every, not like the number of people that I do that for is significantly less than how it used to be before. And there was no incentive when I was doing it back then. It wasn't like they are sending me money or
But
anything.
the incentive might can also be that you want them to feel like you care about them
Yeah, you could put it that way. Yeah.
and
Let's.
to be in their good books.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
And then as you grow older, you're like, I don't
Not
need
send me.
I don't need
What am I
to
using the
I
good
don't
book for?
yeah, I don't need to be in your good books, number one. I mean I know myself, so how your opinion about me really doesn't matter. So
So is that a form of self-centeredness, or is it just growing up? Is it the reality of growing up and becoming more independent?
yeah, I think it's a mixture of both because
Both meaning,
like there could be some self-centeredness in there,
okay.
where you have so many things that you're dealing with personally that you don't have time to do the extra, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
life is life in for you. And there's also the other side where you're just growing and you're maturing and you just know, well, I don't have to go the extra mile for everybody. I choose my focus of energy, the people
Mm-hmm.
that I want to go the extra mile. I can select them, and the ones that I just do the barest minimum, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes also, I think, with maturity.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, let's talk about self-love. How do you describe self-love? So because I think it's important that we describe what self-love means, and then we can talk about like self-centeredness and how possibly self-love can just slip into being selfish, like
Mm-hmm.
loving yourself so much that you don't care about people. So how do you
Mm.
describe self-love?
Self-love is loving yourself. I mean, is there any more revelation behind it? It's self-love. Like, I love myself, I choose myself, I choose me, I do things that make me happy. That's surface level description of self-love. But the funny thing is, I'm just remembering this scripture of love your neighbor as yourself. So
Is
first
self-love
off,
bad?
there's self that you even need to
There's
love yourself to be
yes,
able to love someone else.
exactly.
You cannot love someone else if you don't love yourself. But a lot of us stop with the first part. We love ourselves and then that's it. We don't know how to love people. Maybe because, I mean, there could be even different reasons, right? You could love people and then they hurt you. And going forward, you're like, I'm done with this. I'm not doing anymore. I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose my peace. I'm going to choose my happiness. I'm going to choose my love, blah, blah, blah. And then the person becomes self centered.
So let's talk about loving yourself. How can you practically love yourself? What
Mm.
does loving yourself mean in a practical way? Let me start. And the reason I want us to talk about loving yourself is the scripture you brought out that the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yeah.
So essentially, your success in displaying love to people around you is dependent on how you love yourself. So if you don't know how to love yourself, you really can't love people
Mm-hmm.
the right way. So let's talk about loving yourself. I think one way you can love yourself is to speak kindly of yourself, to speak well of yourself. Genuinely, if you love yourself, you don't talk down on yourself. You speak well of yourself wherever you are. So that's one point. What other ways do you think we can love ourselves?
So on that speaking kindly to yourself. Sometimes I don't talk kindly to myself because I feel like maybe I've messed up. I've done something that I shouldn't have done, or I've treated someone in a bad way, and that makes me feel very bad. So in those moments, I'm being honest with myself. I'm like, you didn't try. You what you did was stupid. What you did was silly, you know? So I don't know if this is negating the self-love or just being realistic that sometimes you're not at your best, and you
No.
need to acknowledge that.
No, yes, that's another part of self-love, being honest. So if you lie to yourself, you're not loving yourself because you're deceiving yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you would eventually face your Waterloo in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So being honest with yourself is a way of loving yourself. However, that's not all. You can't just be honest with yourself and like tell yourself, "Oh, I didn't do well," and then start beating yourself. Another important part of loving yourself is forgiving yourself, right? And moving forward and learning. And so you can't keep beating yourself up. So
Yeah.
yes, you tell yourself, "I didn't do this rightly, I made a mistake, I didn't treat this person well." You accept that responsibility, then you forgive yourself. You speak well of yourself too. That's also important, that okay, I didn't act well, but that does not mean I'm a bad person. That I didn't do something right doesn't mean that I'm evil.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of it.
Okay.
And then you forgive yourself, then you make the right decision, you go to the person, maybe ask for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all.
Yeah, it's good that you kind of brought the balance to it, because I think it's important to have a balance. Some people focus on the being kind. Oh, be kind to yourself, be gentle. But then where's the truth?
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you've messed up,
Oh
own
no,
it, own
yeah,
up to it.
yeah,
And then you also don't want to be on the extreme, which is the example that I gave, that I find that when I do something wrong, I just own up instead of moving towards the kindness area and
yeah,
just, "Oh, okay, yeah, you are not your feelings, you did
yes.
that," but there needs to be a balance of owning up and then moving forward from there. So
Yes.
yeah.
And then let's talk about how self-love. So we've spoken about self-love now, how
Mm-hmm.
we can practically, display that to ourselves. So let's go to self-centeredness. How can self-love be mistaken as to self-centeredness, or how can self-love become self-centeredness? At what point, or what are the signs?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I believe self-centeredness is when you are centered on yourself. I really like that. Self-love, self-centeredness, they're like easy terms. If you know English, you just know that to define it is just to expand on the word.
Mm-hmm.
So self-centeredness is just focusing on yourself. And there's a thin line, I would say. Some people don't really know when they're becoming self-centered. To them, it's self-love. So I'm just loving myself. I'm protecting myself. I'm just doing whatever makes me happy. But then the moment it's all about you make it all about what you want. You make it all about what will serve you. You make it all about what matters to you, without thinking about how there's an impact on other people around you or in your life.
Yeah.
That becomes self-centeredness.
Yes. So I agree with you. So self-love, it accommodates others. As a matter of fact, self-love should lead to loving people, to thinking about people. That's the direction of self-love. However, self-centeredness avoids people, or
Mm-hmm.
wanting to care about people's needs
Yes.
or people's opinion. So it's just all about you. So everything revolves around you. And that is very true. I think another thing about self-centeredness is people who exhibit this character, you notice that they avoid every form of accountability. They don't take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like self-love takes responsibility, self-love is accountable, but self-centeredness is devoid of every form of accountability or responsibility.
Yeah.
So you meet me, you tell me, "Oh, the way you treated me was not nice." Immediately I'm looking for reasons why I also felt spited by you. So rather than saying, "Okay, yes, I didn't treat you well. I recognize what I did was wrong and I apologize for it, and I'm going to, change. I'll try to act better the next time." A self-centered person doesn't even see their mistake. And even if they see their error, they don't even take responsibility for it. They just go like, "No, you also at fault.
Mm-hmm.
You are responsible for this." So
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I just remembered one YouTube short that I watched a few days ago, actually.
Yeah.
So this mother and this daughter were sitting in front of a, should I say, host? Maybe it's a podcast or TV show, I don't know. But basically, the daughter was complaining to the host that she tells her mother that her mother does not listen to her. Her mother hears but does not listen.
Yeah.
And then the host is asking the mother, okay, so what do you have to say to this? She's like, yeah, let me hear what the, like, let the daughter give an example. And then the daughter mentioned that she approached her mom, I don't know how many years ago, but she told her mom that she was molested, so sexually harassed, or in other words, sexually abused. And the reaction her mother gave was shocking to her. She was expecting her mom to come hug her, talk to her, tell her everything will be fine, they could get help, blah, blah, blah. But instead, her mom lit up a cigarette with tears in her eyes and just said,
Yeah.
okay.
No, sad.
And so the mother was asked, what do you have to say to that? And then she just opens up a tornado with her mouth. She's like, yeah, what do you expect me to do? Like, you of all people now, imagine that I'm the mother talking to the daughter. And I'm like, no, but seriously, tell me, what am I supposed to do? I was also molested as a child, and you know that I cannot help you. I cannot help myself. This happened to me many years ago, and I'm still in it. So you come to me and you tell me that you were molested. What am I supposed to do? I cannot help you. I'm still healing. You get help, you get professional help, you get something help, but I cannot help you. And then the daughter is just looking like,
Yeah.
exactly my point.
Hmm.
Exactly my point. So it's really about not taking responsibility. I mean, as a mother, your child comes to you and confides in you and tells you that they were molested. I mean, the mother in you should stand up and be like, who was it? Where are they?
When?
How did this happen? When did this happen? Like, leave your own trauma aside and focus on helping the other person. But she made it all about herself. And that made me really think that a lot of people are so broken in this world that in their own minds, they're doing the right thing. They're just
Yeah.
trying to love themselves. They're trying to live with themselves, and they don't have capacity to expand their hearts to other people, to show up for other people's needs. And that's a very dangerous place to be.
Yeah, and you know, this brings me to the inestimable value of God in our lives. I'm sorry, I just have to just bring this because
No, there's no need to be sorry.
you know, yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
Duh.
not sorry, but you know, some people will be like, oh, every time you just bring God, but I mean, I just have to just bring
Yeah,
God
God is
into
a
it.
huge part of our. God
Yeah,
is our
it's our
lives.
lives. Not a huge
Like,
part is, you
in
know,
Him we live, we move, we
we
have
have
our
our
being, we have our podcast. Okay.
yeah. So I just need to bring it. What am I saying? Because that woman is she's a broken lady.
Yeah, so broken.
She
Like,
she needs
she
healing.
needs help.
She needs healing. You know, of course, God is not the only way you can get healing and you know get.
She's bitter. She's
know,
angry. She needs no.
Yeah, so but you just know that she needs to experience the healing of her soul,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what God provides. God can restore your soul. God can, you know, heal your broken heart. Of course, there's a place for psychological help, going to professionals. I never undermine that. That is important also because they can help with your mind. But when it comes to certain depth in your soul, there is that vacuum that only God can fill and that only God can mend. And so many people they find it difficult to really love themselves because they've not experienced the love of God.
Yeah. And then if they don't love themselves, how?
Then how can
How
they
can
love
they love
other
other
people?
people?
You know, so when you've experienced God's love, when you know that God loves you, when you know your value, you know how God sees you, how valuable you are to Him, how He really really cares about you, then you love yourself.
Yeah.
And from that revelation, from that understanding of God's love for you, of His value, that the value He has placed on you, then you can also have that love for other people. You can also have that value, you know, for other people. So, you know, the love of God is what compels us. The love of God is what teaches us to love. And that is so important.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about the reality of individualism today, where we live in a very individualistic society, and that also fuels this whole, self-absorption, self-centeredness, just about you. You don't really care about other people.
Do you think it is a function of societies and where people are? So, what I mean by that is, for example, we're in Europe, and in Europe, there's a high emphasis on individualism.
Yeah.
Mind your business, do your own thing. Whereas in countries in Africa, specifically Nigeria, there's still an emphasis on community
Mm-hmm.
and, doing things together. So, this question, do you think it applies in a specific context, like here, for example? Or do you think that it's a general phenomenon that we're becoming more individualistic as a human species?
I think is general. It
Okay.
is more pronounced and more obvious in, like you said, in the West, where it's like everyone is fighting for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike in other climes where we still have very strong communal societies.
Mm-hmm.
But I think and I believe strongly that more than ever before, we live in a generation where people are more individualistic than, communal.
Mm.
And how do we manage that, especially talking about being selfless, not being self-centered, self-absorbed? How do I not lose myself? So I don't want to be selfish, but every other person around me is selfish. How do I handle it?
That's a very good
You know,
question,
like,
because you become your environment at
yes,
some point.
yes.
I remember coming to Germany, and, in Africa, in Nigeria, we're very happy go lucky people. We
Mm-hmm.
like to smile, we like to greet people. Like, life is to be enjoyed, it's to
Yeah.
be celebrated and all. So we are very happy people, but over the years I've become very if you see me on the road and you're smiling to me, I'm even confused. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, can you
It's
imagine?
crazy.
Yes.
Like, when I went to the UK, was it 2 years ago or even last year? I don't remember. And the Uber driver was trying to make a conversation. Like, I was already like, when did
Please
this one start? Please, can you just drive this car?
focus.
Just drive this motor, eh? Because I was not used to it. And
Yeah.
this was not me many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, many years ago, I would even ask you, how are you? Like, oh, when did you start driving? Like, make conversation. But right now, I have become much more introverted because of the culture that I find myself. And
Yeah.
I know that I shouldn't change, but subconsciously, I have changed. So I said all of that to say that it's a good question. I don't know how to maintain
Yeah, because it's not easy,
this
right?
love for people and love for yourself and just being a good person
Sometimes,
when the society itself is against it
yeah,
somehow.
sometimes even when you're trying to be
To
that,
help
they're
someone,
like, no, 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 no,
no,
no, no,
don't
no, no,
help
no,
me, no, 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 no,
no,
no.
or don't,
Some people even take offense when you try
yeah.
to, especially like old people,
Mm-hmm.
when they're trying to get off the bus or the tram, and then you offer to help them with their cart or this thing that
Yes,
helps them
yes,
move.
yes.
They take offense.
Yeah, or
So,
you're trying to even be very friendly to your neighbor. Like your neighbor, you see them in while you are at home and you say hello to them and they respond to you, and then you go on the street and you see them, maybe you're driving or you're walking on the street and you say hello to them and they're like, no, I only say hello to you within the premise of our house.
yeah,
While I'm outside, I
yeah.
really don't
Don't know
know
you. I
you.
don't know who you are.
You know.
But it's really alarming. Even recently, was it not the time that we were leaving the house, and then we saw our neighbors? I was
Mhm.
just looking at the lady until she waved to me, and this is a German family, and I waved back. And me, many years ago, I would be the one to wave and be like, "Hi, I know you." So it's interesting to see how much I have changed, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to work on that self-appraisal moment.
Yeah, and that's really why I asked the question, because
Mm-hmm.
this explains it. Like, if 9 out of 10 people are individualistic, are just thinking about themselves, they're not even thinking about you. You need help, but you can't even approach them because you're not sure if they're going to help you.
Yeah.
And you are the one person who wants to be the friendly, helpful, selfless person. You're going to be depleted at some point if you're trying to be all nice.
Yeah.
So how do you manage it? And I guess that's the question we're going to leave our viewers. Please let us know. How will
Mm-hmm.
you advise us?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to give an answer to that. Well, this time we're handing the mic to you guys listening to us. Please leave a comment. Let
Ask the
us know
question again.
your
Sorry.
advice. Okay, so I'll ask the question in this fashion. What would you advise a person who is living in the West, right, with in a society where people are very individualistic, and the person wants to try to be as much as possible selfless, engaging, helpful? How do you advise that person to maintain that character,
Behavior
that
or
behavior, and
habit.
not, yes, and not just
Adapts the
also adapt the
culture.
culture of individualism? And how, what will be your advice?
Yep.
We really want to hear from you. And that is it from us today. Thank you for
Really?
listening. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting us to end now. I thought maybe we
We
could.
could go
Is
on
there
and
no
on.
spicy, like spicy questions or so?
Spicy?
Yeah,
Do you have any spicy question?
I'm Ender.
Okay, let's, maybe we can have some spicy
Maybe
things.
one.
Okay,
One more.
so Olola Day, what do you think about this? Has social media made us more self-centered, just self-absorbed?
Oh yes, of course. See, let
Eh,
me just tell
I've
you.
opened a can of worm,
People,
boy.
let me tell you.
Okay.
Social media, I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I have left social media, come back, left social media, come back. My dear people, right now, my personal social media accounts, people don't even know that I have one. I do, but I deactivated it temporarily, and it's going to 2 years now that I haven't logged onto the account. I don't even know if I will be able to retrieve it.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a page with more than 700 people following me. Before then, I had another account, personal account, with over 1,000 followers, and I this one I deleted it. To answer the question about self-centeredness, I do think that social media plays a huge role, and a lot of people will not agree. They'll be like, yeah, it's just banter, no, it's just for scrolling and just having good laughs, until you start to ask yourself why you're doing certain things
Yeah.
and go deep down, and you realize that actually, because I saw one person do this,
That's why I'm doing it.
I saw it on social media,
Yeah.
and I want it, I want to have it, I need this, I want to pursue this career because it will make me feel more fulfilled, it will make me. Yes, Selah.
Sela, mama the mama. So you got the spicy question and you give us hot.
Yes, that's my take, my personal take on social media. But don't get me wrong, social media can be very good. I mean, I still use it, of course.
Alrighty, thank you
All
guys
right.
for being with us. We hope today's episode was useful. Please like, subscribe, share this episode with your friends. A very easy way you can do this is just share this on your WhatsApp status or share this on your Instagram. It's just very easy. That would help other people to see, and they might be curious about it. And if you want to just go a step further, you can leave a note, leave a comment. That means the world to us. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Ciao.